everyone, I'm Logan Silliman. I'm a senior PM on the Windows Cloud team at Microsoft. And today I'm here to talk to you about boosting your business continuity planning with Windows 365 Reserve. So let's jump into it. Today, I'm going to talk about what Windows 365 Reserve is and the problem we're trying to solve. We're going to talk about how it works with a product flow and some demos, as well as a description of licensing and some feature highlights at the end. We know from customers that organizations are impacted when their users' devices are unavailable. Downtime isn't just an inconvenience, and it directly affects your revenue, security, and service quality. In today's always connected workplace, businesses face these significant challenges when their employees are down. Could be from things like PC disruptions, failure, loss, delayed hardware shipments, or ransomware or malware. Or it could be just you have urgent short-term needs, things like your employees are traveling or you have super temporary staffing needs. Maybe you need a trial environment or a test environment quickly. The time between these scenarios coming up, whether it's a disruption or short-term access need, and when you can get that user connected again, can be really impactful. It's lost employee productivity, you've got increased IT overhead, preparing the device, shipping the device, you have an amplified security exposure, and it's costly to maintain these loaner PCs. And the last thing is it can be really difficult to scale if you've got physical devices that you're distributing as loaners. You can only support as many users as spare devices you have on hand. So we know that customers need a business continuity solution. They're looking for something that's going to quickly restore their productivity, help deliver that robust security and maintain their security posture, and they're looking for something that's going to be cost-effective, simple, and scalable. So let's jump into Windows 365 Reserve. Windows 365 Reserve offers a simple, secure, and cost-effective cloud PC solution that's always ready when you need it the most. If you're familiar with the Windows 365 brand, we provide secure, flexible, and powerful Windows experiences in the cloud via Cloud PCs that help empower your employees to work from any device, anywhere in the world. It doesn't have to be a managed device. It can be a personal laptop as well. Windows 365 Reserve is a version of Windows 365 that provides ready-to-use temporary cloud PCs, keeping your employees productive when their devices are unavailable or you have some sort of short-term access need. I want you to think of Windows 365 Reserve as bolstering the resiliency of your physical endpoints in your organization. And it's that backup plan if the physical endpoint goes down. To give you a little bit more color on some of the other versions of Windows 365 too, to help put Reserve in context. So we have Windows 365 Enterprise, which is your personalized and persistent cloud PC experience. It's great for 24/7 access, like in daily use. On the right-hand side, we'll talk through, we've got our frontline SKUs, and we have this both in dedicated mode, which is still that same personalized, persistent cloud PC, but it allows shared access. So it's great if you have occasional or part-time use scenarios for your employees. And then we also have frontline shared. It's not that personalized cloud PC. It's going to be a standard cloud PC, but it's great for shared task-based work. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, Windows 365 Reserve. This is for the super temporary scenarios, unexpected use cases. It's ready to use when you need it, and it provides short-term access up to 10 days per user per year. So now to highlight how Windows 365 Reserve helps our customer problem that we talked about at the beginning by reducing the impact when employees can't connect. Reserve is built on the secured, flexible, and scalable foundation of Windows 365. And it takes it a step further to empower organizations to respond quickly to disruptions, reduce your downtime, and maintain that seamless user experience. Now to talk about restoring productivity quickly. When a user's device goes down, IT can quickly provide them a Windows 365 Reserve Cloud PC from Intune. That Cloud PC will come ready to use with pre-installed M365 apps like OneDrive, corporate apps, and settings and security policies. Users then can quickly and securely connect from any device, anywhere. And I want to re-emphasize, it doesn't have to be managed. It could be even their personal iPad, and they can get productive again right away. Second, to talk about simplicity for management, admins have centralized control in Microsoft Intune, just like they have for their other devices. So with Reserve, you get easy setup, fast response, and simple management. There's no specialized IT expertise that's required for Windows 365 Reserve setup or management, and we really simplified the process of creating your provisioning policy, even compared to our other editions of Windows 365, to make sure that it's simple and easy for you to set up. The only key information you'll need is where your users are geographically. And third, talking about security and secure by design. Corporate access and security policies are enforced automatically via Microsoft Intune, which helps keep your corporate apps and data secured in the cloud. These configurable policies help enable safe Cloud PC connections from unmanaged devices, removing your dependency on how many spare managed devices IT has sitting in an office closet. And lastly, your user access can be easily revoked from the Cloud PC by IT when they no longer need it, providing that flexibility and control to your central management. Let's take a look now at how Windows 365 Reserve works. It's a little bit deeper dive into our licensing model, as well as some product demos. So what's included in that Windows 365 Reserve license is up to 10 days of Cloud PC access per user per year. And these can be used all at once. You can use those 10 days in a row, or you can spread those days out across the year. Each license gets assigned to one user, and you just can't share those 10 days between users. A day, we get this question a lot, is measured by the time that's spent provisioned. So that clock will start when you provision your Cloud PC and distribute it to your user. And any amount of time that you spend provision will count towards that day. So if you provision it for an hour, that's one day. If you provision it and keep it up for 24 hours, that's one day. And we increment every 24 hours. So the day 2 will start 24 hours from that first time you provisioned. If you want to stop those days from counting, you can deprovision the Cloud PC, or your end users can return it from the Windows app. This tears down the Cloud PC and stops the clock. So that's what helps you spread those days across the year. For example, let's say one of your users has a device break in February, and they are covered from January to January. If they use their first 5 days in February and find, hey, I'm done, I have my original device fixed and returned to me, you can return that Cloud PC. And if the user's device breaks again later in October, they have 5 days remaining that they can go and use. So the 10-day limit helps keep this offering affordable. If you anticipate needing more than 10 days per user per year, you're likely a better fit for our other Windows 365 plans, either Frontline or Enterprise. But if you're thinking to yourself, like, okay, well, I don't anticipate needing more than 10 days, but there might be a situation where device shipment times are taking longer than expected, or I'm really having trouble with resolving the original issue that has my user down. Well, rest assured, in development right now is license stacking, which will enable you to extend your user's access time to a Cloud PC to up to 30 days per user per year. This will take available licenses and stack it on that user, and should be coming soon later this year. So now I'm going to talk about Windows 365 Reserve's high-level product flow. First, we'll do purchase and setup. When you buy your licenses, you'll then go and configure your provisioning policy in Intune. And this handles license assignment, as well as configuration options for where you want your Cloud PCs when you eventually deploy them. We do recommend setting this up in advance. There is a delay after you assign your users a license for the first time where you won't be able to provision. So we recommend setting this up as early as possible, right when you buy your licenses, at least 7 days before you can provision. So after setup, let's say it's a couple months later and a user has a PC failure, they spilled coffee on their laptop. They're going to just contact support. This is the same flow as you have today, and support will open up a ticket for you to create a Reserve Cloud PC for that user. You'll go into Intune, and you'll find that user's name under their provisioning policy, and you'll click Provision Cloud PC. This distributes the Cloud PC to those users for 10 days per user per year, and your user can then go and connect from the Windows app. They'll have some information on their side too, where they can see how many days are remaining and connect. All right, let's take a quick look at how that works, creating a provisioning policy in Microsoft Intune. So starting in the Intune Admin Center under the Windows 365 blade, I'm going to navigate over to my provisioning policies. I'm going to go and create a new policy for Windows 365 Reserve. And first, I'm going to enter a name. Right now, I'm creating a policy for my Contoso engineering team. And I'll add a description for what this policy is. Next, I'm going to select the geography for my users. If my users are distributed across geographies, I'll end up creating multiple policies for each geography. Then I enable single sign-on, and I'll go into my image selection. For Reserve, we support automatic image selection, where it'll take the latest up-to-date image for my region, or I can pick one of the latest default gallery images for Windows 11. I have some configuration options like language and region. I'm going to leave English here. And then I could also apply a Cloud PC naming template or scope tags. But for now, I'm going to go straight to assignments. You can see I've got 10 licenses available. And I'm going to go ahead and add my Contoso engineering group. And I can see that has 10 users. So all of my 10 users will get an available license. I'll review the policy selections and go ahead and create. And so you can see that was a really simple flow with not a lot of expertise needed. All I needed was that geography for my users. There's no custom network, no custom images, super simple. Now let's take a look at how we provision a Reserve Cloud PC later on when my users need it. I'm going to go back into Intune, into my provisioning policy in the Windows 365 blade. This is the one I just created. And I can see the properties for the policy. If I had any active Cloud PCs, they'd be under devices. But I'm going to go into users. My user, Megan, has had an issue with her device, and she needs a Cloud PC. So I'm going to select Megan's name, and I'm going to go ahead and provision her Cloud PC. And this is sped up for demo purposes, but typically doesn't take too long. Maybe grab a cup of coffee. And you can see as soon as that device is provisioned, I see the record in Intune, I see the Cloud PC device information, and I see that days left counter decrement because I have started the provisioning process. Now let's see how Megan accesses her Windows 365 Reserve Cloud PC from the Windows app. She's going to log into the Windows app with her corporate credentials. We talked a little bit about the security here, but with conditional access policies from Intune that you apply to your device, this allows us to provide secure work resource access, even from unmanaged devices. So here we're logged into the Windows app, and Megan can see that she has a Reserve Cloud PC distributed to her. She can see when it expires. And she has a couple device actions too if you click on the ellipses. Things like if she wants to favorite, restart or reset. These are common self-help troubleshooting tools. Return if she's done with the Cloud PC settings. And she can click to connect and start her session. And just like that, she's back connected to work resources and able to get productive again. Now I want to take a second just to spotlight a couple features that are available with Windows 365 Reserve that are exciting. Windows 365 Link and Windows 365 Boot support were both announced back in December when we announced general availability for Reserve. And I just want to highlight that Windows 365 Reserve becomes even more accessible with these two features. With Link, users can simply walk up to a Link-enabled endpoint and access their Cloud PCs, including Reserve, unlocking that in uninterrupted productivity from anywhere. And then with Windows 365 Boot, users on managed devices can boot directly into their Reserve Cloud PC, skipping extra steps and getting straight to work. This is particularly useful. Let's take an example where you have deployed Reserve for your organization, but you still have that physical loaner program with managed devices sitting in a spare closet. Enabling boot on these devices with Reserve helps you still maintain for those in-office employees who are able to come up and get a spare device. Boot helps keep the sign-in process really quick, really efficient, and make sure that those Cloud PCs are always up to date with their latest Windows image. So it helps you skip some of the management overhead that comes with maintaining those physical devices and keeping them prepared. Both of these integrations, Link and Boot, help keep the experience consistent and secure, whether users are at home, in the office, or on the go. And the next feature I want to highlight is our user provisioning. So a tool that helps you configure self-help for your users on Microsoft Intune with Reserve. Imagine that your device fails or you're traveling and you need secure access to your Windows environment immediately. Instead of contacting your support team, waiting for IT to take action, this new feature, configuring self-help with user provisioning in Microsoft Intune, will allow you to set up your Cloud PC from the Windows app by yourself and then get back in action as soon as possible. It's great because IT still defines those guardrails through the new Windows app settings on Intune, and it's off by default and can be applied to specific user groups. So you get that agility without sacrificing your IT's governance. This is going to be the first step towards a self-service model for Cloud PCs, and it's designed to reduce admin overhead and provide resilience at scale. Or let's watch a quick demo of how that works. So here I am. I'm in that new Windows app device settings page where I'm creating a setting. This is still in the Windows 365 blade in Intune. And I'm just going to create a user provisioning setting for my leadership team for Contoso. I've decided I don't want all of my engineers to have it, but I want my LT to be able to do this. There are a bunch of settings here, but I'm only going to do the user provisioning setting for now. And then I'm going to assign my Contoso LT user group. And then I'm going to review the setting and create it. Now, from the eyes of my LT team, I'll take a look at what it looks like for my Windows app. So imagine that I've logged in from my personal device. I've logged in securely to the Windows app. And now I'm here. And instead of seeing that device card ready to click and connect, I see a device card that says, set up your Cloud PC. So this is distributed by that user setting we just created. I'll see a note on what my Reserve Cloud PC is. It'll let me know it'll take a little while, grab some coffee, and then I can click to start setting that up. By the time I come back, that Cloud PC is ready for me to connect. I see that familiar device card, and I can click right in and get started again. So you'll see that whole setting really reduce the time of recovery and reduce the dependency on both support and IT. So it's the fastest way to get your user back up and running. And switching gears just a little bit, I want to spend the last few minutes talking about the Reserve license itself. And this is where the simplicity really shines. Reserve is priced at just $20 per user per year, and it's available through EA, MCA, and CSP channels. So you can add it to your existing agreements without friction. Prerequisites are pretty straightforward, similar to our other Windows 365 SKUs, Windows E3, Entra ID P1, and Microsoft Intune. The key benefit here is really that there are no standing hardware costs, no idle inventory, just a flexible, secure, cloud-first model to help you bolster your business continuity. And lastly, taking a look at some of the resources. If you'd like to learn more, we've got tons of information, product screenshots, and links for where you can learn a lot more about the product, both in the preview blog that went out right before GA. We'll continue to post feature updates there too. You can check out our Windows Experience blog about resilience within Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop. And you can also see some of our public documentation in the links below. And I just want to thank all of you so much for your time today. I am so honored to represent Windows 365 Reserve and honored to have the time with you all. Really appreciate any feedback you may have. Thanks.